Hey boys, welcome back to some more Cricket 22, and it's going to be the start of a brand new series on the game. As the title will suggest, it's going to be a Marnus Labuschange career mode. So as you see, here he is warming up, getting amongst it, and so a little preamble to this series, because there's a couple of points to note here. One, we're starting out in the Ashes, obviously, and it would make sense regardless. We're going to be starting in the first test at the Gabba, Australia v England, and but one thing, so I was looking the other day at starting like a star player career mode, and I was losing my mind because I couldn't find an option for it, and I started a career mode like 2 or 3 times because I thought I must have missed an option. But every time you start a career mode, it takes you through that little opening story, little cutscene with your manager and stuff, and you don't actually get to play as a star player. And I was looking online, and apparently they just didn't put it in this game, which is just absolutely idiotic. I've got no other words to say other than, what are they doing? Like, I don't understand why they would not have a star player career mode. You know, it doesn't have to have the, you know, the story mode elements, as we're going to be brought on to bowl pretty early in the contest. That's the one thing. It's the one thing, I don't know, they've always done it, and I guess it's somewhat good, somewhat bad. But even if you're playing as like very part-timer, I mean, he can bowl, Marnus, but I don't know, when you play a game like this and you play as a star player, they do tend to bring you on pretty early in the contest, which is obviously a little silly. We're in the 14th over here. They're 3 for 52, so not too dissimilar to real life, how it's been going, bowling to Benny Stokes and Joe Root here. But yeah, they just didn't add the star player career mode in this game, which is, like I said, it's just idiotic. Like, it's one of the more fun things to do in a cricket game. Like, you get to, obviously your player career mode is the mainstay, but you know, getting to play as, like, you know, your favorite cricketers, or even some younger cricketers coming through that you think could be fun to play their career. Like, it's baffling as we go. Oh no, Joe Root. They had a good little partnership, him and Ben Stokes, and he's got to be spewing with this one. It's a full one, and he's hit it into his own boot. I haven't, and this will be fun as well, because I haven't actually, in my previous cricket career modes, I've always played as like a spin bowler, and the spin bowling has been a lot of fun. So, you know, Marnus ripping out some leggies here will be some good fun, and hopefully the spin bowling is, you know, as fun as it was in previous cricket games. So I feel like they did a really good job in previous games for the spin bowling, and Marnus's action, it looks pretty good. I don't know if it's necessarily his bowling action, but it's a decent little thing. And look at that, dude. Oh, you've got to be filthy about that one. Poor Joseph Root. That's sort of the luck of the English at the moment. But we pick up a wicket in our 3rd over. Got to be happy with that. And a nice little ball there to continue. You know, the England team, I could have probably gone in and changed it before the start of this series, or the game here. But honestly, I mean, it's sort of the team that they should have had from the start. So, you know, it's whatever. But we come back here, 7th over in, 6 for 169, so a little bit more fight than previous, and we're going to pick up another one, Johnny Bairstow, the big breakthrough. So the golden arm of Marnus is working an absolute treat. We picked up Joe when they had a good partnership with him and Stokes, and now Bairstow is doing a good job. And this one just what actually happened here? It was a very faint edge. It must have went onto his pad maybe, and just spooned up to Alex Carey. Decent ball, a little bit of grip, you know, pitching on and around leg stump, and just holding slightly. Now it's an inside edge. I guess what I was saying was incorrect. It was not as much spin as he was expecting. A little inside edge onto the pad, and Alex Carey did a good job to snaggle it. So good stuff, good bowling. It's you know, the Labuschange career, I wasn't really expecting him to come in with the ball and do damage. I was more keen for the batting, but you know, we're doing a good job. But finishing off on the point, apparently I saw I saw some comments that they might be, well, people were asking for it, obviously, as we're going to go for a sneaky challenge here. We're not really getting too much spin, but it looked pretty straight. Like, I don't know, you might as well use the challenges when they're on offer. But I think Ross from Big Game Studios confirmed that they're going to add it to the game, which I just don't understand. I don't understand at all. So no ban. I knew there was no ban involved, so we're going to skip through that. It pitches just in line. If it just strains, it strains a little bit, but not quite enough. Though, you know, not a bad challenge, honestly. I think it was worth the risk. And not much of a risk. We have 3 challenges or 2 challenges remaining. Chris Wokes, Ollie Robinson, the tail enders here. So, you know, another chance to get another wicket, honestly, into our 10th over. It's a good little shot from Wokes. Obviously, he can hold the bat, Wokes, so we'd rather give him the single or the little outside edge. Not going to go to keeper or like a third slip there. But yeah, apparently they're going to add it back to the game, which why was it not in the game? Like, why? So, for people that don't know, you might be wondering, well, if it's not in the game, how are you playing this career as? Oh my goodness, what a grab. Who is that man in close? Is it Head, maybe? Look at this. Just hits it into the pad, just jams it, I think. And what a grab. Maybe Harris? Who is it? I can't read. What a snag. That's tremendous. No, Travis Head caught it, so beautiful work in close. So 3 wickets, 3 for 35 in our 10th over. And this is pretty reminiscent of England. Obviously, different fortunes. They actually, no, they batted first at the Gabba as well, didn't they? Am I losing the plot? But regardless, can we get him out before the double 100? It'd be great. That's a good shot. Chris Wokes, you know, we want him to get off strike, boulder Brody. That's what we want. But yeah, apparently they're going to add it back to the game. So it's good. Oh my god, deja vu, and we do get the big wicket of Chris Wokes. Doesn't really matter at this point who we get, but that is, I mean, again, just deja vu. I don't know. The spin bowling apparently is much easier to get wickets. I'm playing on it's veteran difficulty and like hardest. I'll get into the batting difficulty when we get out to the pitch. And I attuned. Oh, so we finished with 4 wickets. We couldn't get the 5th. That would have been a tremendous start. But 4 wickets. I mean, it doesn't get too much better. We come out with the 60 average, high score of 215. You know, we'd love to do something and top that in this series. But look at that, 4 for 42 off 11 overs. Wickets for Cummins, Stark, and Hazelwood as well. So I mean, that's a good start. But just before I finish off on the career mode stuff, and I'll get into how we're actually playing this for people that may not know, I adjusted some sliders. So I turned the shot force down. I turned it down like quite a bit. I think it was like default on 50. And like the scale, if you haven't seen, it's like 0 to 100. So I turned it down to like, I think 40. So like a 10% decrease. And then the speed, as you can probably tell, Stuart Broad here bowling 140. It's going through pretty quick. So I turned that, I think that was on default. I can't remember what the default was, but I turned it up to like 65, I think it is. So it's up there. The pace is coming through quick. It's coming through, which is how I want. You know, someone's bowling 140. I want it to feel quick. So obviously I tuned it to make it a fair bit more difficult. Obviously the shot force, tuning it down, it was just way too high. Like, you know, if you play the game, like any shot somewhat out of the middle just races for 4. So I turned that down. The timings, I mucked around a little bit with the timings, but I think the default, I've just got it on, the default's just on, it's on hard or hardest. I can't quite remember what I had it on, but yeah, I just adjusted a couple of the physics type elements to make it a little bit more challenging and a little bit more fun as well. I just feel like the pace bowling, it's funner. Oh no, we scooped it. Oh, I think that was a catch. I don't know, was that a catch? He didn't come in for it, so a little bit lucky. And as you can see, we're already 2 off 11. This is much harder, much harder to bat with, and it's just a lot more fun. Also, I turned the spin amount up a little bit as well, which I've always liked to do in previous games. So yeah, a couple of little adjustments in the difficulty to make it better, in my opinion. But yeah, let's get in. So for people that may not know, you're like, how are you playing the career then if you can't? So if you play the Ashes series, you can play as a star player. You can either play as Australia or England, or you can select an individual star player. So that's what I'm doing. I'm starting the Labuschange career, and that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the Labuschange career mode, because what I'll end up doing, and hopefully they do end up adding like an actual star player career mode, so you don't just play the Ashes, you can play through their career. Hopefully. I would be very disappointed if they don't. But basically, like, this Ashes series will take us a fair while to get through it regardless, and then hopefully by the time we're finished this, you know, they will have added the career mode element, or like the star player career, and then we can just restart it, skip the Ashes, and then continue on with our career. And obviously if they add the star player career, it's not going to have like the cutscenes with the manager, and I guess, I don't know, again, it's disappointing, because I guess that's why they didn't add it, because, you know, they didn't want to make like a whole new cutscene for a star player, which I get, like, it makes sense, you know, not adding it for that, but it just seems like such a band-aid fix. Like, instead of tweaking the career mode for a star player, they just scrapped it. They just scrapped it altogether, and I'm like, what do they expect? Like, honestly, there's some things with this game I'm pretty disappointed with, and that's another one that I'm just like, why? Like, why would you just remove the star player career? But regardless, we're gonna sneak a single there. So this is a good challenge. We're 1 for 21. Davey Warner is going pretty well. Ollie Robinson is steaming in here. That's a good shot. It was almost a catchable height, but getting enough bat on that to pick up a couple. And already, I'm honestly, when I started this, it felt good. It felt fun. So we trailed by 171, 169 now. Moved on to 10 off 20. So yeah, already it feels good. I'm excited for this career. Beautiful little whip off the stumps there, and that sort of illustrates the shot force being turned down. You know, it's a big boundary out there, and hasn't quite raced. Before I tweaked it, that would have gone there in like 2 seconds flat. It would have absolutely flown. The other thing I toned down slightly was the bounce, and I probably could turn that down a little bit more again. The bounce in general, it's another thing that was just way too much. Like, obviously, you know, a new ball on a new pitch, the ball's gonna bounce over the top a lot of times, but in this game, like, it doesn't really matter if it's on a good length. It bounces so high, and obviously with the pace turned up a bit as well, like I could adjust it a little bit more to compensate. And even when the batter, it's happened so much in our career mode, where a batter hits it into the pitch and it bounces over the head of like a fielder. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, I turned the bounce, the default bounce down slightly. I could probably tune that down a little bit more still, but yeah, we're feeling it out. We're feeling out sort of the gameplay modifiers to get it perfect. So yeah, but regardless, like I was mentioning, I'm very excited for this career. Hopefully you guys are keen for it as well. Something a little bit different, and you know, we're a bit through the video now. Make sure to like it. Make sure to like the video if you're going to enjoy some Marnus. Unfortunately, there's no Marnus mannerisms in the game. It would have been fun if they had some of his voice acting and sort of mannerisms at the crease, but no special leave or anything like that. Which is, yeah, you know, it is what it is. I'm not disappointed. I wasn't expecting it, but it would have been cool regardless, as that one is just played off the hip for a couple. Again, that goes to show the shot force, because we hit it pretty well, but again, a ball coming onto you like that, it shouldn't just go for 4 like it was in previous iterations. So moved on here. I didn't even mention, but David Warner has departed, which is a big wicket for the English boys, but it does bring Smith, Labuschange, you know, the two wonder kids here. sort of the master and the apprentice. You know, Labuschage's sort of he's sort of overtaken Smith as the master in recent times, but you know, Smith, he's exceptional in his own right, so it'll be a good little, hopefully a good little partnership, and we need it. You know, we only trail by 145, like obviously we're in a pretty good spot, but 2 wickets, both openers gone. That's a beautiful shot through the covers. Is that going to go for 4? Maybe not. Might just be pulled up. Only going to get the 2, so you know, maybe the shot force I could tune up a little bit more, but again, I like it like that. I don't like every ball going to the rope, so I don't know. We'll test around with it. If we're finding it we can't hit any boundaries and stuff, as that one is cracked. That would have gone for 4, but the man is back there for the shot. But yeah, we'll like I said, we'll keep adjusting, and overall, I prefer, especially in test matches, like you don't want it to go into the rope at all. All shots that go through a gap, as that one was a little bit of a sneaky single. I thought it was going to beat the fielder, but he got across to it nicely. So the partnership already flourishing. Smith has come out 15 off 22. He's taken the game on, which you'll love to see. We're struggling along. We're definitely struggling along here. 25 off 48. You know, it's not a bad strike rate in a test match, but yeah, we're finding it tough, but it's a good challenge, as that is punched beautifully off the back foot through that vacant mid-on gap. Is that going to trickle to the rope? Maybe it is. It is going to go to the rope. So that was a beautiful shot. Marnus, he plays very, very technical. Even though, you know, he does have a lot of weird mannerisms and whatnot, but he is a very, very good batter to watch. Like, he's very technically sound. Plays some very nice cover drives and straight drives. Pull shot as well. I remember when he first came into the Australian team, he reminded me so much of Ricky Ponting. Now, obviously, his batting has changed a bit from when he first came in. Like, he's obviously taken up a lot of what Steve Smith has done, and you know, he's fine-tuned it. But when he first came in, like, he had, yeah, when he left the ball, he didn't have the big swing and waft. Like, he was more like a Ricky Ponting. He had a big front foot. You know, he got his big front foot out, left it like him. His pull shot was very reminiscent of Ponting. And instantly I was like, this dude, Labuschange, he's got what it takes. Like, just, you know, the way he played. And obviously, like I said, he's gone back, he's switched it up a lot since then, as that's a ripping ball from Ben Stokes, getting a little bit of outswing. So haven't seen too much swing. Anderson was getting it to go a little bit, but Ben Stokes comes in first over and getting some nice shape away, and he's getting some to rise off a good length. So this is a tough little spell. I don't think the England team didn't have a spinner, which is a little disappointing. I was keen to face some spin, but it looks like we're going to be facing the all-out pace attack from this English outfit, as Anderson's going to continue his 10th over already, as that is absolutely smacked over point for 4. That was you know, bit short, bit wide. It wasn't the easiest ball to hit, but we have just gone through with the shot. It was almost catchable height, but you know, got it straight over the top and a nice boundary, so it relieves a little bit of pressure. 34-58. This is turning into quite the little partnership and quite the innings from ourselves. We're approaching that 100 mark. If we can get there with 2 wickets down, I mean, that would be ideal. You know, Steve Smith and myself can just get the 100, knock off these little milestones. There's again a beautiful shot there. 2 fours back to back. That again had some good shape away, but just a little bit short. Able to rock back and smack it. As again that one. Oh, that was more of a front foot pull shot. And that's what I'm talking about with the bounce in this game. Like, it's a good length delivery, and you sort of your mindset is to go forward to it, but the good length you sort of always got to play back to. It's more those ones there, the full length. So yeah, it's a different mindset, as once again just punching that one for a dot. Stuart Broad coming in here, a good spell, 1 for 10 into his 6th over now. We're approaching a little half century, which would be a great start to the Ashes, great start to the career. And like I said, approaching that 100 milestone, which 2 wickets down, you know, England would have been up and about, but to get there with only 2 wickets down, I think we would probably take this this first session with the batters. That one's punched almost. Yeah, we're gonna sneak the single. Oh, don't want to run yourself out. That would be absolute disaster. But not going to, thankfully, as Ben Stokes continues, and that is cracked in front of mid wicket. Seen it early. Rocked back in the crease and just smacked it. Could have gone more square, but you know, playing it safe. I knew there was a man back at like more of a 45, and just played it nicely. Beautiful shot. So 47 or 60, 66. Steve Smith 27, doing very, very nicely. Is this one? Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Ben Stokes is going to get the big breakthrough. We couldn't get to the 100 with 2 wickets down, and all of a sudden England. That's a big breakthrough in this match. I was in two minds. It was another short ball, and this one was better placed. It was more outside off. Didn't know whether to cut, whether to rock back and pull it again. At the end of it, we just sort of wafted the bat at it, tried to be a little bit fancy over the slips, and yeah, didn't get any of it. And that's a big wicket. So yeah, Smith gets out for 60. And all of a sudden, England are finding their way back in this contest. So hopefully, guys are going to enjoy the Marnus career. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.